socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe.
Welcome to Atlantic Television Network Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to provide solutions that will benefit humanity. On today's Society Watch, there are so many issues to discuss, but we will start from Niger Delta. Tinubu approves 50,000 monthly stipends for youth. On nationwide protests, senators sponsoring demonstration in FCT. That's from Wike. Hardship. Resign if you can't fix Nigeria's economy. That's from Archbishop Ariwodo. Government cannot run universities alone, from UNNVC. These are the issues we'll be looking at today. You can join us on all our media platforms: Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. When we return from the short break, I will introduce my guests for today's show.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
you human trafficker.
Honorable They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. documentaries. So catch all the updates on the
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network, and joining me in this conversation this wonderful afternoon is a public affairs analyst. I'm talking about Chukwu C. Ike Chukwu. You love the rhyme? That's why I love it too.
Thank you.
Welcome. It's been a while.
Yeah, sure.
And it's good to have you here.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
And I hope the
here.
protest is in any way disturbing.
It cannot not disturb.
Okay.
But so far, nothing personal has been lost apart from the general share in the disturbing of movement and all those stuff. At least so far they have done a good job of not having it go violent, and then the security men so far so good, at least in this state, has been fair.
That's to say that Nigerians, especially the ones in Port Harcourt, they are peaceful set of individuals.
Yes. I think to a large extent, Nigerians have always been peaceful.
Amazing.
So even the ones that has gone south may not necessarily be because the people are not peaceful, but
it's because life generally is a risk.
Not just life, and of course, at times the system also, as they would say, if you push a goat to the wall, it has no option than to
remain in the wall.
No, not to remain in the wall. It wants to come back at you because it can't stay in the wall. There is nowhere to go again, so it have to come
All
back.
right. So if you're pushing the wall in this period, just remain there at the wall. There's no need
to try to come back.
Don't come back, stay there. All right. The first story for today is from Niger Delta. President Bola Tinubu has approved a monthly stipend of 50,000 naira for 10,000 youths in Niger Delta to alleviate economic hardships. Senate President Godswill Akpabio announced this at the Niger Delta Sensitization Conference in Port Harcourt, stating that the payment will be made through the NDDC Youth Intensive Scheme for 12 months with a possibility of extension. Akpabio also revealed that Tinubu has approved the Lagos to Calabar Coastal Highway project, expected to create thousands of jobs. He urged against participating in a national protest on August 1st, which was yesterday, organized by the anonymous individuals to incite chaos. He said the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, will implement this scheme immediately to support 10,000 youth with 50,000 naira monthly to cushion the current hardship. We acknowledge the severe impacts caused by the oil and gas activities in the Niger Delta and are taking prompt action to address these issues. The economic challenges in our nations are known by President Bola Tinubu and is already receiving a required attention to address them. There is nothing in the 10th-point agenda for the national protest that capture the interests of the Niger Delta. The organizers are merely copycats, imitating the situation in Kenya, not minding the potential anarchy their protests will bring upon this country. The issues facing the countries are currently being addressed, and so there is absolutely no need to protest. Okay, number one thing that I got out of this story is the fact that the president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, has approved a 50,000 naira monthly payment for about 10,000 youths in Niger Delta, and this will come through NDDC scheme initiative. What do you think about this? We got this news a day to the protest. Could it also be an effort that the president, the federal government, is making to let the youth know that indeed they are actually working? They need time to do more.
Now the question is, how true is this? Is it true? When did the Senate President become the spokesman for the executive arm of government? If such statement was coming from the presidency, the Ministry of Niger Delta, or even the Niger Delta Commission, which he alleged that the money would be paid through, it's easy to take it serious. but the statement is coming from, it may just be some of those things that are coming into his head while he was making his speech, and say, oh, maybe he thinks that, okay, let's just tell them anything and they have it. And by the way, 10,000, good number, but what percentage of Niger Delta youths is that figure to assuage everybody? 50,000, fair, but what is that in the wake of current economic realities in the country now? Then it is not sounding pacifying to, I mean, we are trying to douse tension and you're lashing out at the protesters. Say, to even say nothing in the 10-point agenda affects the Niger Delta is being economical with the truth. Yeah, they may not have mentioned specific for each locality, but there are some things that are general. Hunger cuts across every region, whether it's Niger Delta, whether it's northeast or any there. So these are, I mean, the truth of the matter is that the challenges of Niger Delta wouldn't have been in the first place if not for bad government that persisted over the years. I mean, if the government over the years have done what they should do, so the peculiar Niger Delta issue may not have been there, because, I mean, Niger Delta region is not the only region where you drill oil in the world, and not all regions have the issue Niger Delta has. So why has the case of the Niger Delta become different? Because of bad governance that has persisted over the years. So any attempt to tackle bad governance and you say it does not affect any particular region is being economical with the truth. Bad governance affects every part of the country, and indeed every part of the world where it is experienced. Then one of the things the agenda is hunger, cost of living. How can you say it doesn't affect the Niger Delta? I mean, do we have our own special market where we buy things? Do we buy PMS at a different rate? We buy it at the same rate with other people. At times it's even more expensive here. So that's been economical with the truth.
And then talking about 10,000 youths in Niger Delta, is this even up to 10% of the people?
I don't even think that statement is correct, because it's not coming from the presidency, it's not coming from the ministry. I mean, there's a channel through which this, if the government has thought of this.
So you mean that the Senate president, yes, we know that it might not be coming from the appropriate person, but are you saying that the Senate president would just come and say something that is not it by saying that the president
it may just be something they are still proposing. You know, we have had in time past where a government official says,
no, said it has been approved.
Oh, hold on, wait. We have in the past where certain government officials have said things and another come out and say, oh no, that is not the case, and then issues of who has the authorization to make such comments steps in, and then everything dies as the argument dies out. So this may not be yes, he is an insider, he may know what they are planning, but this may just be something that is still at the planning stage, and you've already given it out. Maybe they've not even fine-tuned to. So if eventually the plan didn't go through, it's easy to say, oh, but you didn't hear that from us. You know, I mean, those who should make the statement can say, oh, but you didn't hear from us.
I'm still wondering why you don't want to be optimistic about this. You're still looking at the fact that it's not true.
Because we have seen, I'm not outrightly saying it's not true. But before we can take these things, you know, as something you can bank on, it has to come from the channels, the institution he mentioned that would implement it. Have there been a confirmation from them? Has this thing been seen in any of their websites? Has it been confirmed from the executive arm of government that should implement this?
If it wasn't, it would have been in the news. I couldn't have been here.
But so far, no, they are reporting what the Senate president said, not what the executive arm of government.
But you don't even believe what the Senate presidents have said?
I like to take it with a pinch of salt.
Add oil to it.
If you provide that. But the truth is that it's best, to be on the safer side, it's best to take some of these things with a pinch of salt. So at the end of the day, you don't get overtly disappointed, because you build the hope that, oh, you know, some people are going to get.
And if it is, of course, let's assume that 10,000 youths will definitely benefit from this. How would this help in alleviating the hardship caused by subsidy removal in the country?
Well, for if it eventually happen, the 10,000 people that get it, whoever they are, what criteria would you use to choose them? But if they get it, maybe 50,000 can marginally do them some good, but it still doesn't answer the collective question of economic hardship being faced by everybody. I mean, even the individuals that get it, it may not wholly answer their own economic question. It's just a stopgap measure. I mean, nothing as good as a man being able to provide for his need than expecting handouts every time.
But is this what is really needed to be able to alleviate economic hardship by giving 50,000 or 10,000 or 30,000 to youth? Is this what is needed?
It needs more than this, even though making provisions like this cannot be said to be completely wrong if it is properly done, and properly done in the sense of its sustainability, and then the criteria for selecting those that would get it. But it still doesn't answer the whole question. There is need for a more comprehensive poverty alleviation scheme that goes beyond government handouts.
All right, and then the second story for today. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, revealed that intelligence indicates a senator is sponsoring a protest in the FCT by providing food for the protesters and involving security agencies. Wike expressed confidence that the security agencies will question the senator. He also stated that intelligence reports suggest protesters plan to destroy property on Friday, which could lead to loss of lives. Wike urged protesters to use the Moshood Abiola Stadium for their demonstrations, citing a court order that confines protests to that area. He emphasized the need to protest according to the rules of law and assured effort to address the protesters' concerns. All right, the Minister of FCT said, according to him, that it is with due intelligence that he got this information that a senator in FCT is sponsoring this protest by even sending food in trucks to protesters. And according to what he said, that he got to know about this after the senator in question, which the name is yet to be revealed, called security agencies, some of them to accompany the trucks in order for them to give food to the protesters. That is one. And, well, what do you think about this phase before I add the second question?
Well, protest is not a criminal act. In fact, it's the people's right to protest. And if it is not criminal to protest, it may not equally be criminal to support a protest or sponsor it. But the challenge here maybe that's the angle he's looking at it, that if the said senator is a member of the ruling party, it will be like an internal sabotaging the system. But again, that's more of an indictment on the government, the system, than anything else. It shows that members of the family, as they would want to call them in the Nigerian sense, that, oh, we are all family, we are one. You know, it shows that members of the family are also dissatisfied with the system, that they have to sponsor people to.
So, okay, even if this is true, as stated here, do you think it will have a way of affecting whosoever the senator in question that is behind, if indeed it's true? Do you think it will have a way of affecting his political career?
If he's a member of the ruling party, it may affect him within the party system. It means that maybe the party may no longer trust him to say, okay, at least in terms of election, hold our flag, or maybe when they share the, you know, the Nigerian government system is about sharing formula, national cake and all that. So when they want to share the cake, they may not give him a bigger chunk.
They might give him the icing.
Or that's if they consider
not the main cake
worthy of that, you know, so that may affect him to that extent. But in the eyes of Nigerians who are already aggrieved with the system, they may not see him as somebody who have done anything wrong. But within the political party system, that is, if he's a member of their party.
And what if he's not a member of their house?
If he's not a member of their, no, he said a serving senator. So
no, when I mean what if he's not a member of the party? That's what I mean.
Their party. If he's
We're
not
talking about the family now.
If he's not a member of their party, there is nothing much they can do to make it affect his political career other than begrudging him. However, if the said person is sponsoring violence or violent protest, that's another ball game altogether. But if it is just protest, maybe, just maybe, some people within his own system even applaud him, especially if they have some political points to score with the ongoing protests. So it may be like, oh, you help us score some point. But if he's not, if he's a member of their party, that's the ruling party, then it may affect him. But of course, you know, the Nigerian system also, being a member of party doesn't really count much, except that it's a party in government. I mean, you can go to bed as a member of this party, by the time you wake up in the morning,
you're in another party.
Yeah, so you can, even in your dream, you can defect and wake up in another party. So the guy may actually be plotting his way to move into another party.
Oh, wow. You sleep and wake up into another party.
Yeah, I've seen it happen.
All right. Now, this is what I wanted to ask before I paused. It was stated in the news this morning that police, security personnel threw tear gas at protesters. You know why? Because they were actually protesting in a part that did not exclusive for them. It was from courts. When the order came that they should gather, one of the places that they were supposed to gather was, yes, the National Stadium. And other 4 places, because of course, the whole Abuja cannot gather in one place, all right? And they didn't agree to that. If they have gathered in a particular place, like stated, like instructed, there's every tendency, okay, they would have gone to share them food or water or whatever thing that was carried in the truck, if indeed there was actually a truck and sent by someone. But this one, they were scattered everywhere, which led to the gas issues, right? So I wonder, is it that this truck followed them in all as they scattered around?
Well, the truck is the imaginary truck, apart from the minister.
Okay, is it imaginary?
As far as I know, apart from the minister of...
No, if it is imaginary, I mean, there wouldn't have been a call from...
apart from the minister of FCT, no other person have reported...
I've seen the truck.
Yes, carrying food to the people. So it may just be an imagination, you know, giving the dog a bad name to hang itself. So nobody have seen trucks carrying food to protesters. If not, some non-protesters would have joined too.
And another thing, you know that, like yesterday when the protest started, a lot of shops were locked. Because, not necessarily because they are scared that they can't come out, but for the sake of looters, not to come in and loot things, right?
They're scared because
and we also saw in Kano State where yes, they loot a particular truck of rice, right? So if there was a truck, a physical truck, loaded with food, whether for protesters or not, you know they wouldn't wait. You know they would not ask.
It's possible such truck would have run into danger. But since it's alleging that there are security people guarding the truck.
No, and again, they would have asked, is this truck meant for us, or are you taking it somewhere? That is number one question. But Nigerians are not patient enough. Not just Nigerian protesters are not patient enough. Yeah. There's every tendency that they would have brought down the truck. So I want you to look at it in this angle. Could it be that this is just a political witch hunting, or could it be that there was actually a truck, but because of the information that get to the FCT minister, the truck didn't go out again? Or, I mean, a lot of questions.
I don't know if the... but in terms of hijacking the truck, since it was a peaceful protest, at least in the FCT,
exactly.
So the truck probably wouldn't have been hijacked. But the thing is that maybe many people have not affirmed to seeing truck distributing food. So I don't know how the truck went about. And then, from past experience, the average truck owner would want to be careful. But maybe because there were security people allegedly guiding the truck, or otherwise a truck owner would be careful carrying food to such protesting places, since there are more than one location.
Okay, and what do you think about this ongoing protest in general? Do you think is actually going to yield results so far because they started yesterday. In Rivers State, yes, the governor came out to address the protesters. So today, even if they've gathered to be just in a minute area, but what do you think about this? Will it bring results?
Well, I think the protest itself would have at least made a statement.
You think it has?
It has made a statement. Then whether it will bring results in terms of going back to like PMS, going back to the old price remains to be seen. But from experience, it's 50-50, depending on how far they can, sustain it. But whatever it is, violence should be kept out of it.
Why do you say it's 50-50?
Because if the guys in power, can listen to them and feel the pulse of the people, they can feel like, okay, yeah, you guys have made. That's why I said the most important thing is that a statement has been made. But if the Nigerians, typical of Nigerian system that is adamant to the cries of people, they may feel like, oh, I don't know, it's possible but a statement has been made.
If something happened and you feel it, as long as your attention is needed, you will talk about it, right? You will say something.
It depends on who's...
No, that's what I'm saying. If something happens here, you feel it.
Absolutely.
But if that thing was done for you to say something, to address it, you would definitely do something.
Yeah, but we are not all the same. There are some people...
But so far...
Yeah.
A lot of persons have been anticipating address from the
president.
I
mean, even before the protest started, there was a news of the protest over a week or two before the protest started. I mean, it was enough to try to douse. The thing is that they were talking to people I consider to be the wrong people. They were talking to the effort was focused not on redoing the policies that have brought hardship, but on making the protest not hold, more like flogging people and saying don't cry. I mean, those efforts used in talking to traditional rulers would have even been used to talk to the organizers of this protest, hear directly from them what they are. I know in Rivers State there was a meeting with the police head, to ensure a peaceful protest, but there is a source they were looking at that would have addressed them, like you said, address them and follow up that address with an action. I think that's what is needed now. A visible action that everybody will see that, oh, this is working in this direction.
Okay, saying they would have done that. That's the federal government. They would have done it, address it with action. Yeah. I know that before the protest.
Yeah. But however, it's still not late.
They said they're going to send bags of rice to different states that will make this inflation at least not to affect or so much to be so pressing on us, because the bags of rice are going to be selling at the rate of 40,000 now. That was before the protest. And then they talked about a student loan, that something is coming up. And then they also, I remember the president also empower some individuals with 50,000 naira. That's, I'm saying what we saw, even though some persons are saying we are not blind and we cannot see these things, it's not just about talking about it. So don't you think that was enough move from the federal government to let Nigerians know that they should not protest, that indeed they are working?
No, I don't think it's enough. Like you said, people have not seen it. You see, I have not seen the location where the bag of rice is sold for 40.
It's about to. Just like they're waiting for president to say something now. Okay, he will give them promise and they'll wait.
They have not started selling the rice. They're about to start selling the rice. Then the question again is that where would this rice come from and how would they be sustained? Rather than this handout measure, can't you stop it? Rather than there should be a comprehensive address on how to fight food shortage and inflation, rather than whenever there is a cry, you release. Remember the other time there was a talk of releasing some thousands of grains, but another argument came out that, oh, the grain reserve we have is not even up to this amount you promised to release. Then till now that grain has not been released, even though government would always say, oh, we have released it. The other time they released some 20 trucks of rice to each state. I don't know if anybody has seen those trucks of rice coming into their states.
Well, we'll find out. This is a site to watch on Atlantic Television Network. We'll return after this break.
Happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable
You are a human.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
No agreement with the EU, but
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business.
welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. Remember that you can join us on all our media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X Atlantic TV Net. You can also watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. And now the rest of our stories. Archbishop Professor Goswill Ariwodo, National Chairman of Abia State Elders Consultative Forum, unable to resign, not resolve Nigeria's economic issues. Ariwodo criticized Tinubu's leadership and anti-people's politics, claiming the economic has worsened since he took office. He defended the right to peaceful protest against government suppression and force. Ariwodo supported Labour's party Peter Obi and criticized any plans to arrest him for speaking out against the government. There is a need for non-violent protests and condemned leaders advising against them, citing widespread suffering due to poor governance. Alrighty, yesterday in a story we saw where netizens asked the Senate President Godswill Akpabio to resign immediately for mocking Nigerians, and according to them that he said while Nigerians are protesting that they will be eaten, though he said that that comment wasn't directly from him, is a question that he asked based on what someone said. And now today, Ariwodo has come up to say that if Tinubu, our president, cannot address the economic issues in our country today, that he should resign. And of course, you know that Nigerians are protesting end bad governance, which is ongoing. What do you think?
Well, the Archbishop Ariwodo, as long as I have not said anything completely new. Protest is a right. There is a worsening economic reality on ground. There has been a threat, even though I'm not sure it has come from the board. There have been rumors of threat to arrest the Labour Party presidential candidate. And then he has also made criticism of the government. But it's expected of every citizen. It's written a right to talk about the government and make criticism, especially constructive criticism. And by the way, it is not even criminal to make non-constructive criticism. As a case where a person is calling for, something else. But if it is just what it is, criticism, whether constructive or non-constructive, it's still within your right to make the criticism. So I don't think that should lead to the arrest of the government. If there is something libelous which he has said, I think the court is open for those who feel aggrieved to approach and, have the court decide on that. Then, like he said, the protest, of course, people have the right to protest. There is worsening hunger, economic realities on the ground. Then, he's called for the to it's a practice all over the world. People call, even the incumbent has called in the past, called former presidents to resign. I mean, he was leading protests in 2012 at Ojota Freedom Park, and they made calls for the president to resign. It is what it is, a call. Anybody can call on anybody to resign, anybody to anybody. But saying get out is not the same thing as going to forcefully push you out of the place. So it is, and these are practices that we have seen everywhere anyway. For example, UK and their prime ministers, they always resign at every small irritant. These things that happen here, if it was a UK prime minister, he would have just said, okay, since you guys think I've not done enough, I'm gone.
But we don't get angry in Nigeria.
No. The people may even get angry. Those in position of authority don't get angry to the point of
resigning.
No. They don't do that. Their anger don't lead to is not like the scripture said, godly anger leads to repentance. Theirs don't lead to repentance, at least to the point of repenting to quit the position for which they hold. No, it rather makes them want to sit tight and do nothing.
All right, so do you think Ariwodo call holds any water? Because you said that this call he's not the first person, and it's not going to be the last. Like you said that our able president protested in 2012, and he also called for someone to resign. And now it is
in his what is dictionary definition of honor and hidden to public opinion is, but certainly it's a public opinion that has been heard. Whether he will act on it is
okay. Nigerian citizen. and also a public affairs analyst. Yes, a lot of persons are saying that the president has really not done enough, and some are saying that, of course, the president is doing something. And we could also see in a report today where one of the actresses, one of the prominent actor, that is Tonto Dike, also give support to
protesting. I don't think the price of goods would have skyrocketed, because these are the indices used to measure a government. You know, what has been the standard of living since he came into power? What has been the people's economic power, their earning and their spending power? How has his governance affected
that? Is why I'm asking you.
If it has not had a positive impact on the people, then it's needless giving him a rating of 100%.
No, I didn't give you 100.
No, not you. I mean, you say people have been giving him various ratings of pass mark. Oh, he's doing something. He may be doing something. What exactly is that something he's doing? There is he was doing something during the duration of the exam, but what exactly was he doing? Was he answering the question for which he entered the exam hall, or he was answering another question he got from somewhere in his mind? If he wasn't answering the question that was set before him, no matter how much he was doing, he won't get the lecturer's nod. So that's them. He's doing something. Doing what exactly?
But that is quite different from Nigerian's case, because the truth is, some persons.
No, sorry. It's not. It's not different. Look at it this way. Look at it this way. It's not about being in support of it. It's what are the questions the protesters are seeking answers to. Those questions, how germane are they to the society? Are they true? When they say, oh, there is hunger, is it true? Is there hunger? Now, whether I support it or not could be because of my personal preference. And of course, you know, in Nigeria, people's support for a thing, people's definition of truth depends on who is saying it, not on the... We have come to a stage where truth is subjective rather than objective. But because of where it's coming from, you know, that psychopathic way of saying, Oga, that thing you're about to say is very correct. Oga has not said it. He's about to say it, but you're already saying that thing you're about to say is very correct. You have not even heard it, but it's already very correct. So that's the approach where some people support some people are any government in power. They just flow with that government. So that some people are supporting doesn't necessarily mean he has been the Nigerian question. And as far as that keeps happening, the question will remain unanswered. And the people who are the ultimate lecturers here, we keep marking them.
And we are the lecturers.
Yeah, because in this case,
I mean, you are one of the lecturers.
We are the one assessing them, because we are the people that their policies affect more. I mean, even if some of us decide to say, oh, they are doing well because of our maybe political leaning, ethnic, religious, and other colorations that happen in Nigeria, but the reality of your situation tells it. If I say, oh, everything is fine in Nigeria, but I still can't afford a bag of rice, it tells truth to my pocket more than any other
person. All right, so let's look at the last story for today. Professor Romanus Ezio-Konkwo, acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, emphasized the need for alumni association for faculties and individuals to support the government in funding universities. He urged Dean and head of the department to use their internally generated revenues to supplement government funds. This call came as Professor Emeka Eweze, Dean of the Faculty of Biological Science, presented a Toyota Hummer bus purchase with the facility with the faculty IGR to the university management. Eweze highlighted his administration's achievements, including 42 projects funded through IGL, such as the bus purchase, building renovations, car park construction, CCTV installation, and an overhead town. Yeah, it contributed these successes to the support from the university management staff and board members. Oh, wow. I remember when the federal government said that universities should be sending the internal generated. So, do you think that we are seeing it in that light, that indeed they're actually using this internal generated revenues to do the needful? Because the VC said that governments cannot take care of the universities alone.
Well, practical experience in Nigeria has shown us that the universities need funds, and government has not really done enough to. Of course, every government will say, oh, we have beautiful plans for the university, just like what I said earlier on, until that begins to happen and affect the school system. It has not happened there. Alma mater. But if you look at this,
what if they don't have?
Hold on, I'm coming. If you look at this alumni, it is the same alumni in the streets protesting. It is the same alumni that are yet to get employed. It is the same alumni that is struggling to pay. So the alumni should contribute, yes, but what is the state of that alumni?
Do they have a job
to contribute? Yes. And then, you know, what is the relationship between our universities and their alumni?
Exactly.
Many Nigerians who graduated from school have nothing positive to say about their university. So much so that some of us that feel like, oh, my school was this, they feel like, I beg, you know, like that. So there is a need to make a conscious effort to make people who have graduated from schools feel that they are part of that system, that wherever they go, this is. Like in my secondary school, you know, one of our school songs, their anthem, talks about something that wherever I go, I will always, you know, more like my allegiance will always be to thee. It should go beyond such song to the reality. But then, before I could, you know, be grateful to my school, but lack the wherewithal to support them. So everything is tied to everything. A thriving economic system will make it easier for our alumni. Then also the mindset also, most of our alumni too, when they have alumni association.
But what would they talk about? That's what they can have. I mean, you talk about end of the year party just to see